Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer wants you to get your head on straight. In a world gone sideways, having balance and integrity in all areas of life leads to having confidence that breeds clarity. Clarity is essential to living an authentic life, and all the information shared on the Get Your Head On Straight podcast is designed to inspire you to live your life fulfilled. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Get Your Head On Straight with Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer. So excited about my guest today. We're going to be talking shop, and I'm really excited for you to hear this guy's story. I want to welcome to the show, Paul Hernandez. How are you, Paul?
I'm great. Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
Well, I'm in a lot of pain because I fell the other day moving from my old apartment to my new apartment. So my back's a little messed up, but the night it happened, I had you come over and adjust me, and then I had a massage the next day. So it's slowly getting better, but I just need to take some self-time to get that better.
Yeah, you did have a gnarly fall. It was pretty intense. And
yeah.
You got into a fight with the rose bush or something, right?
The fall hit my sciatica nerve so hard that I didn't even notice I fell on a rose bush until my friend told me afterwards.
What's interesting about that is even though you kind of hurt your back when the fall happened, your neck did not go out of alignment.
Yeah, I thought I really did some serious damage to myself when I did that fall, but you never said that I had anything crazy. It just seems like everything held together still, which is shockingly because it hurt really bad.
Right. Yeah. How have you felt working this last week or so since the move?
In the chair, tattooing, in the chair, I'm fine. I'm the kind of person where when I move into a new place, I like to get everything situated and up and going. And so I've been like a crackhead the last 2 days, getting everything together and nonstop lifting things and doing probably a lot more work than I should have, especially after that fall like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still a little sore. Before that, I was doing really good until my little falls. So.
Well, let's talk about that because your journey is pretty incredible to me. I think that we met, it'll be 4 years this coming October. So it's been a little over 3 years. And I was introduced to you actually by my husband because he came to you to get a tattoo.
Yep.
And you were really suffering. So tell me a little bit about what was going on, or actually tell the listeners, because I want them to know.
When was it? Probably around beginning of winter, probably of 2017, I think.
Yeah, it was like October.
I was tattooing your husband, and he somehow a conversation started where I started talking about my history of having sciatica issues with a disc bulge in my L4, L5, and all the chiropractors and massage therapies that I've had done and still continue to have back problems and excessive anxiety. And he told me about how you were a chiropractor, and I was like, yeah, well, I've seen like quite a few. I'm at the point right now where I don't want to waste any more of my money on anyone else. So he's like, no, she's really good. And she's around the corner and people like come from far to see her. And I was like, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's kind of hard because I really put the effort in already to see other chiropractors like 4 or 5 times a week, driving far distances to go get work done. And I did notice though, when I was through all the chiropractic work that I had done, I noticed that the more the chiropractors that were leaning towards the neck area of their adjustments were the ones that were seeing better results with stuff. So when he was explaining to me like what your theory was on how you fix people, it made sense to me. So I gave it a shot, went down and got the x-rays you took were like pretty crazy. It makes sense. So yeah, started seeing you. You saw how crooked I was. I had a t-shirt on and I could stand tall, but if I took my t-shirt off, I think you'd see how crooked my spine was. A lot of people thought, oh, you just have scoliosis. And it was like, no, it's not scoliosis because I've been perfectly fine my whole life. Just out of nowhere around 2015, my back just went haywire. Sciatica nerve pinching. And I continued to work for like a long time tattooing in very bad positions. I didn't realize how important posture was even during that time when my back was bad. So I think because of my lack of good posture, dealing with the sciatica, it made my back muscles seize up and lock up for like a good year. And I was walking like Quasimodo. I was like Hunchback of Notre Dame. It was bad. It was super, super bad. Finally, it started kind of releasing a little bit. And then I was kind of getting better, but not significantly. When I saw you, I noticed a huge difference in the first 30 days. And at first, I didn't realize that the adjustment you gave really did anything. I remember laying there for 45 minutes going, did she even do anything? Like that adjustment wasn't even anything compared to the other cracks and snaps that I've had on my neck before by other guys, where you can feel it and hear it and it's like intense. But when I had gotten up from the table laying down, I noticed this really weird pressure on the back of my neck, almost like a hand was cupping it. And I was like, whoa, what the heck is that feeling? And I was like, I've never felt that way before. And I remember asking the people at the counter, is it normal to have this weird pressure like right here? And they're like, oh, that's probably because the adjustment, it opened up a lot of blood flow to your brain and it's flowing through. And I was like, that's crazy. I mean, I really almost thought nothing even, I was almost second guessing what had just happened in that room. I was like, maybe nothing happened, and something had obviously happened. So
yeah,
I could feel it.
The correction that he's referring to is the Blair adjustment. And it's very gentle, very specific. And it's almost anticlimactic because we have to do a lot of imaging and precise calculation. We do a really big exam to kind of really make that correction for that patient. And the other thing that was complicating the issue that day, I vividly remember, is that you were like almost in tears from panic.
Yeah, I had a lot of extreme anxiety. Just to sit there and get x-rays done, I remember looking at you guys like, you're going to have to do this real fast, because my anxiety were just racing. My palms were sweaty. Just to have made it around the corner. I mean, everything I did in life was a huge stepping stone just to be able to do anything, right. Going, checking the mail or walking my dog was a huge, defeat. I couldn't go to the grocery store for a long time. I couldn't walk around the grocery store at all. Not only if I walked a little, I would start hurting really bad, where I almost wanted to get in one of those little scooters and just do that, because I felt like I was in that much pain. Plus, on top of it, the anxiety levels would kick in, and it was bad. So
would you say that the pain preceded the anxiety, or was it the other way around?
I honestly have no clue. I have no clue. I mean, my anxiety started a few months before the back issues started. But as the back issues got worse, so did my anxiety. But I just don't know if they have to do with each other, or if they're two separate things still.
Yeah.
But they both improved a lot. So
right.
That's good. I mean, I go to the grocery store now on my own.
Yeah.
I'll go to the far end. I'll walk wherever I need to walk. And yeah.
Do you even have to think
that
about
I'm 100%. Think about what?
Like just going to the store before you had to kind of gear yourself up for it. And
yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think twice about it. I just get in the car and, I'm just like, I'm going to the grocery store. I just jump in the car and go. I don't think when I'm on the far end of the store, holy crap, I made it this far. I'm just like,
you're there getting what you need
shopping.
to get. So that's what's so cool about the transformation. And it hasn't been quick, and it definitely isn't 100%, because I know that you're still not comfortable driving far away or getting on an airplane. And I know that day will come, but the fact that you were able to get in your car at one point and drive outside of the city you lived in, actually to get in your car from your apartment, because I used to come to your appointment to check you, to your apartment to check you, because you couldn't even come back to the office. I was lucky to get you there.
I was dreading it. My anxiety was so bad. I think too, some people that like me who have dealt with this stuff like me almost develop a PTSD style trauma to the anxiety. Even though they might feel like they're getting better, they're too afraid to make the step, because they've already had that muscle memory in the brain that you've already tried this and it's going to go bad, just like it goes bad every other time. And the fear comes on, and then it triggers the anxiety again. And it's crazy. But at some point I branched. I took
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my friends would be like, oh, you need to try this, this, and this. I did for years. I really tried to do things to get myself out of my comfort zone, and it slung me back. It wasn't until one point, I don't think I even realized how much better I was already getting mentally, until one day I went to try again. And my anxiety was so much better when I decided to get out of the house this one particular time, and I felt better. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then I avoided the freeway going to where our location was that we went to the shooting range. And when I was coming back, I felt so free that I jumped on the freeway and just drove. And I was looking at my roommate, like, you want to go to the beach? Let's go to the beach. I wanted to go all these places now because I felt lifted from so much fear of living. But to say that it's 100% gone, no, it's not. I still struggle sometimes. I'll be sitting there working and all of a sudden, boom, some anxiety hits me. But definitely a huge change. Like, I have a lot of friends and family that are just like, whoa, like, dude, it's crazy how much you've gotten better. You're doing this, you're doing that. And to me, it's been a real slow, like you said, it's a real slow progress. To me, even though I have to step back and look at it and go, wow, my life really did change crazy, because it's been so slow watching it that sometimes I'm like, I don't really see it. You know what I mean? Even though I do see it, it's like watching, it's like you and your new puppy. You know what I mean? You may sit there and go, oh, he looks the same size to me. But other people are going, no, I see the weight he's gaining and he's getting bigger. Like, you know what I mean? But same thing with my situation. It's kind of like that. But when I step back and look at it, I'm like, dang, a lot has changed. I see a lot of forward movement that I still need to make. And maybe that's how I am. That's how I am. I'm to where I need to be. But I definitely have made a lot of strides. It's crazy how much, you could go to all these other chiropractors that are doing all these snapping you around and doing all this stuff that some people, you think it'd work and it doesn't, you know what I mean? I remember the last chiropractor I saw, he said, I can only get you like 80%. I don't know why I can't, the last 20%, your body just doesn't want to shift anymore. I don't know what to do. I just almost lost it. I was like, this sucks, because I'm spending all this money and all this effort and time and driving out all the way from RSM to Newport. And he's telling me he can't get me any better. And he's supposed to be this miracle worker. It really sucked. But, getting massages a lot weekly helped a lot. It's everything, chiropractic work, massage therapy, eating healthier. I remember when I was eating really clean, I felt a lot of inflammation leave my body. Yeah. And I could get up in the morning and not like an 80-year-old man making it to the restroom. I would spring out of bed and just start mobbing around. I was like, whoa. And the moment I started eating unhealthy again, I started knowing all the inflammation coming back. Yes, absolutely. It's definitely a piece of pie of the slice of the pie of the healing process. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, everything plays a part.
And that's why I wanted you to come on and tell your story, because I know that the foundation of having your structure in alignment is like the key. And then because you're in alignment, your body can move better. And because your body moves better, you want to eat healthier. And because you're in alignment, you're assimilating that nutrients in a more effective way. So it's like you said, it's a piece of the puzzle. And in my opinion, it's the foundation. And for me, on the outside looking in, I think back to, just over 3 years ago when you were basically a shut-in, and I would like bring my table to you. And now you can just pop in the office. There could be people there, not there. And you're like, hey, I'm here to get checked. Or, if you fall, you can text me and I can come over, because I know you're in the middle of moving. I'm like, dude, I got to help you. So I can bring my table over and check you. And remarkably, you've had one Blair upper cervical correction. That's it. The one and only was in October of 2017. And you've had a lot of life happen. I mean, it's not like you haven't had other injuries that have occurred and all the different things you've walked through. But for me, looking from the outside in, it's not even the same life. Like, there's no comparison to where you were when I met you to where you are now. In my head, I don't have to wonder, if I call Paul, is he going to be terrified to even leave his house? Like, that's not even a question.
Yeah. And there's sometimes, I mean, I'll be real. Like, there's times I'm scared that it may come back again like that. And that's just the trauma that I'm telling you, that I've told you about, like the fear of living. It's sometimes I'm like, it's too good. There's gotta be a day when I just wake up and I slingshot myself back to the beginning, cause it's happened before, but I don't think it's going to happen. But the fear,
you never know. I get it. And that's the thing about, like you said, post-traumatic stress and just having the trauma. I mean, it's not just a physical thing. It's a mental, it's emotional, it's a spiritual situation. And there's different triggers that we all walk through, you know what I mean? And so being able to identify it and recognize it. And then when you start to feel that way, adjusting how you're walking in your situation, maybe you do need to clean up your food. Maybe you do need to get a massage. Maybe you do need to just like chill out, if you're doing too much. But how has this impacted your ability to work? Because now you don't have to just be in your apartment. You actually go to your studio.
So my anxiety had gotten so bad that the shop I was working at for 10 years, I branched off and created my own tattoo studio in my house in RSM because I couldn't get in the car and drive to work anymore. I could still work if it came to me, but even then, sometimes there was times I'd feel the anxiety come on bad. So it was really bad. And I was working from home for a few years. And then when I went and started doing all these, out of nowhere, when my anxiety got lifted off of me, and I went with my roommate at the time, and we went to the shooting range, and right after that, it was like night and day. Like things just started changing, and I started getting out more. And I've made many attempts before to do these things, but I knew I was waiting for my body to tell me that it was okay to do it. I knew me forcing my body and my mind was just going to traumatize me more. So I was waiting for that moment when it was saying, it's okay, you're good. And I was waiting for it. And I think because I was so scared to do anything, I just stayed in the house most of the time and only lived within a certain comfort zone. But finally, when I decided to test it one more time, my body was in that state of realm where it was like, you're good. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And after that, I was just doing anything I could to kind of test the waters and see how deep I can get in the pool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at that point, I had to get out of that city. I was stuck there I felt like I was stuck physically there for good. I mean, I was living there for 6 years, but working from home for 3 years, it felt like a mental prison in a weird way. But now I moved away. I'm back at a shop again. Before I could only work 2, 3, 4 hours at the very most. And I'd be probably crawling to my car, barely able to, shaking to get my keys in the door just to lay on the couch and die for hours until, I could get up and crawl to the bathroom or something, but now I'm working 8, 10 hours if I wanted to. And I mean, I might be a little sore. I mean, who's not going to be sore after working that long? I don't care if you got back issues or not, you're going to be sore. So I can do it and I can get up the next day and do it again. I can come home. I can walk the dog. That helps a lot too. If it wasn't for walking my dog in the morning and at night, it gets me up, gets me going before I can have a chance to get up and be lazy right off the bat. It gets me up and gets me going and gets my body going, gets my legs, gets the muscle, everything waking up so I can start the day. And it's like weird because I always look at it like it's a chore to do it. But I started looking at it as more of like a rehabilitation for myself instead of a chore. And sometimes most of the time I'm excited to walk him because I know it's going to benefit me also. But there's sometimes you don't really want to walk
yeah,
the dog.
no, I mean, sometimes you're tired, right? But like, that's what,
Yeah.
I mean, the key thing in that statement is that you changed your mindset. Instead of, I have to walk my dog, you chose to look at it like a gift to your body and to your pet.
Yeah. Like I get to do it. Like I don't have to go to the grocery store anymore. I get to go to the grocery store.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everything that you feel that you take for granted, I don't anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes. So your mindset has been changed. Physically, you've improved. Mentally, emotionally, financially. It's all good. I'm just so proud and excited to have been on this journey with you. And I just wanted people to hear your story because it's not like you were just magically cured and one adjustment healed your mind. I mean, that happened. It happened to me for sure. But it's also important for people to hear real people tell their real journey and that it is a process, but it's absolutely worth doing. And it's exciting to know that like that seemingly non-dramatic adjustment 3 years ago actually made such a huge difference in your life.
No, it's crazy. It's definitely not, like you said, we live in a society nowadays where everything needs to be fixed now. Things need to happen now for us. And I won't lie, maybe I was in that mentality. When you're in that much pain, all you want is it to be gone right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be selfish. I just don't want to be in pain. And so when you do this kind of stuff, you feel like, man, like people will post YouTube videos of things happening like instantly, like, oh, they adjusted them and boom, they got, they're like, oh, no pain, nowhere. And you're like, I don't know. Is that really real? You know what I mean? And maybe it is. Maybe in some cases, some people are in that much crucial need of an adjustment that it is a life-changing thing. Not saying that I wasn't in a life-changing, that big of an adjustment, but it definitely wasn't something that was so vital to my body that it had like effects instantly.
Right.
In a weird way it did with the blood flow. That was instant. It definitely takes time. You got to start changing things. You got to start looking at, how do I eat? Am I active? Do I get up and stretch here and there? We're getting older. When I was like 15, I could go skateboard off these stairs and tumble and jump back up and do those stairs again. If I fall moving my apartment like I did 2 days ago, I'm out for the count for days now. It's different. Our bodies are different.
It definitely takes time. One of the principles of chiropractic is that all processes take time. And I'm often heard saying, it takes time to become dysfunctional and it's going to take time to heal. So when we encounter a trauma, we have to get it fixed. But it was cool to be able to check you that same day and have your neck not go out of alignment and be able to get you back on the road to healing. And I know the next time I check you, it'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot I fell, because that's kind of like how it goes with the healing. It's like we peel these layers off, right? Like it's like an onion, like the layers are getting peeled off and pretty soon you're not crying anymore because it's all gone. I appreciate you, Paul, for taking time tonight to come on and talk about your journey and about your progress with the Blair upper cervical work. And is there any advice that you would want to share with anyone who's maybe thinking that they don't maybe know or believe that this could be a thing for them?
You don't know until you try. That I watched a movie the other day and I forgot what the exact words, but he said, you'll never know if you don't do anything about it or something like that. You have to try. You just have to try. If you don't try, you're going to be in the same spot forever. Nothing's going to change. You're constantly, so you have to try. I gave everything a try. And that's why I'm in the position I'm in now, because I decided to give it a try. I tried all these other things and it didn't work. And then I finally tried this and it did work. So along with anything else, dieting, I never really dieted. I don't say dieting, but eating clean. I never really ate clean before. You know what I mean? Not until you get older, you realize you start needing to. So don't give up. Don't just think that you have one adjustment and you're going to walk out doing handsprings. It ain't going to happen. You got to stay diligent, like you said, and persevere through it. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have hard times. You're going to have hard times. If you do it and you stick with it, I think you're going to see good results. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Perseverance.
You're not going to have any results if you just sit there and complain and cry the whole time.
I know that's right. So perseverance is what you're talking about. You're saying that if you stay the course and you just kind of work through the process, eventually you'll get the results. It just takes time.
Yeah. Cause there's times I feel like, oh, I'm feeling really good. And then some months we're like, man, I'm hurting really bad. Then some months we're good. And it was up and down until I believe that it gets to the point where those waters start calming down.
Yeah.
And then you can allow the body to start doing what it needs to do. So.
I like it. Well, dude, thank you so much for kind of just giving the real talk tonight and letting people know it's possible to get better. I appreciate your time and look forward to checking in with you soon. I think I'm probably going to have to see you in the next week or so to make sure your back is feeling better. Yeah, a couple of ibuprofens here and there won't hurt. All right, dude. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the show. And with that, I'm going to say thanks for listening to Get Your Head On Straight with Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to get a hold of me at wellconnectedchiro.com. And if you want to know more about the Blair chiropractic technique, you can get all of the answers on my website, wellconnectedchiro.com. Until next time, take care.
Thank you for listening to Get Your Head On Straight with Dr. Elizabeth Hoefer. Visit wellconnectedchiro.com for more details from the show blog post and to learn what Blair Upper Cervical Chiropractic can do for you. To learn more about Dr. Hoefer and her practice, you can find her at Well Connected Chiropractic in Mission Viejo, California by visiting wellconnectedchiro.com for more information.